Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Westbrook Brewing Company out of Charleston, South Carolina. This beer is their Siberian Black Magic Panther. It is an Imperial Stout. Just says this beer is as hairy as a Siberian or as a Panther, and you better believe it because it gets the black magic from mountains of roasted malts and dark candy syrup. During the long weeks in the fermenter, it gathers its rage, or rage this mythical beast of an Imperial Stout once unleashed on your taste buds. And it is 12.0 ABV. I have had a couple different barrel age variants of this, but I've never had the base beer. So I'm pretty excited to try the base beer. All of the barrel aged variants I've had have all been really good, so I'm pretty excited to try this base. And I don't think that they come out with the base beer every year. I don't think they've really done any of the barrel aged variants in a little while. And I'm definitely sure, because I remember them posting them when they posted about these cans. This is the first time they canned it in 12-ounce can or 16-ounce cans. So that's pretty cool. I'd rather have a 16-ounce can than a 22-ounce bottle. Even maybe if the price per ounce is slightly more. Let me give it a pour and see what we got. That looks thick. And I've heard from a couple people that this base beer is like one of the best base Imperial Stouts. Like it's up there with Founders RIS and Expedition from Bell's. So I'm pretty psyched to try this. As you can see, it pours out really, really dark brown to black. Pretty dark head. I mean, that's well beyond beige. That's definitely tan or light brown. Slightly more than a finger. It's dissipating a little bit, but not too much. Whoa, that smells really good. I was worrying about it being like really acrid or like ashy. Because a friend told me that it was really similar to Expedition, and that when it's fresh, it's kind of a little bit too like ashy and bitter between the malts and the hops for me. I do like it fresh, but it's a little abrasive. When it's aged, it's amazing. But this actually smells a lot like there's a lot of like baker's chocolate. It's not like super sweet chocolate, but it's definitely chocolate, like cacao nibs, like raw cacao nibs or baker's chocolate. I don't think there's any of that in here. I mean, it is a little roasty, but it's not like super charred, which is good. It's there's a lot of like nutty character to it too, and it is a little like dark fruity and tannic, but not to the point where I think it's gonna be like a Belgian stout that's like straight dark fruit and really isn't like well balanced. See. I just took a monster. Oh, whew. I took a big gulp of that. I have no idea why I took a gulp that big. That is a monster beer. Holy shit. I love when I drink a beer that's just like super monstrous that isn't barrel aged, but it's not like, it's just monstrous because of the booze, but also because of the heft, and it's not just like straight ethanol. It actually has like a lot of legs to it. Um, this definitely this is really good. So it does have a little bit of that dark fruit tannic character up front. But then it gets into that like smoky, deep, dark chocolate character that Founders, RIS, and Expedition have. And now I absolutely understand why the barrel aged versions of this are so good, because this is a perfect canvas to be barrel aged. It has a nice little bit of sweetness to it, but not too much. The body is just massive without it being like really under attenuated. It does actually have like a pretty nice hop kick to it. It's not to the point of Expedition, but it is it's pretty hoppy. But I mean, that is a true traditional Russian Imperial Stout. So I'm not saying that's a fault of the beer. It just is what it is. But again, it kind of starts with that, like I said, tannic, dark fruit character. Then it flows into like a little bit an earthy, hoppy note. And then it just finishes with like smoked meats and dark, bitter chocolate. My buddy was right. This is top notch. I'm so glad that I finally tried this base beer. I didn't have a reason to want to try it before, but when I heard that they were canning it and it was only like $5 a can, it's like, hell yeah, bring it on. And then I had heard some good reviews from other people, and this is not disappoint at all. The only downside to this is probably by the time I finish the rest of this can, I'm going to be pretty drunk, because this is a huge freaking beer. It is, I think Founders RIS is 10% and Expedition is 10.5. I know they're both between 10 and 11, so this being at 12 is just like, and I wouldn't say that this comes off like any bigger than they do. If anything, it's actually not quite as viscous as Expedition, at least from what I remember. It's been a little while, probably like 8 months since I had my last bottle of Expedition. Actually, I take that back. This is probably about as big as Expedition is. That's really thick. But again, it's I think it's pretty much all from Maillard reactions and caramelization of the malts. It's not very sweet at all. It actually is pretty bitter. But that's what these beers are supposed to be. So to me, it's perfectly on style. Yeah, this is a really, really good version of a Russian Imperial Stout. And, back in the day, and I'm talking about way back in the day, whenever, like, most breweries weren't even barrel aging, let alone barrel aging and throwing a bunch of different pastry crap into their beers. This would have been, like, probably top 10 Imperial Stout. I mean, whenever Expedition used to be, like, king, this would have been right up there with it. But I don't even think Westbrook existed at that point in time. I don't even know where it falls now, but To me, the Expedition and Founders RIS are like. I like Founders RIS better, but I think Expedition kind of is actually a. Founders RIS is. I like it better because it's a little more balanced, but Expedition is just such an impressive feat that it's so big and massive without being sweet. It's just super abrasive, but still being amazing and drinkable at the same time. But RIS is like slightly scaled back from that, but it's even more drinkable. So I do like it better. But those are the two front runners when it comes to regular Imperial Stouts. And in my opinion, there's not many things that compete with them. I don't know that I would say that this is better than either one of them, but it is definitely in the conversation. I would honestly have to do them side by side to get a true reflection, side by side and blind, to get a true reflection. But this is definitely up there. This is a fantastic beer. And now that I tried this, I only bought one can. I'm probably gonna go buy a 4-pack. Because, like I said, I don't think they make this every year. I'm going to go buy a 4-pack and just sit on it. And maybe open one can every year or something like that. I usually do that with Expedition and see how it goes. But, yeah, I would definitely buy this again. It's really cheap. It's like $5, $6 a can. But I think that's all I got in episode 1. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.